Throughout history, humans have sought to capture their own likeness. From the earliest stone carvings of the Paleolithic era to the timeless masterpieces of Da Vinci and Van Gogh, portraiture has served as more than just a visual record. It reflects identity, emotions, and cultural significance. But is a portrait merely a representation of appearance, or does it reveal something deeper? In this presentation, we will explore the evolution of portraiture across 3 distinct historical periods and examine the role of clothing in shaping these artistic transformations. The Renaissance era, 15th–16th century, transformed portraiture, elevating it from simple representation to a powerful expression of identity, status, and emotion. This period embraced humanism, realism, and advanced techniques like perspective and chiaroscuro, making portraits more lifelike than ever before. Leonardo da Vinci, one of the most prominent artists of this period, revolutionized portraiture with the use of the sfumato technique, softening edges and creating smooth transitions between colors. Mona Lisa, the most famous portrait in history, is a brilliant example of this technique, where the subject's face is depicted with exceptional softness and delicacy. Additionally, Portrait of Ginevra de' Benci showcases Da Vinci's ability to capture both the personality and inner essence of his subject. Raphael, one of the greatest Renaissance masters, was known for his ability to capture both idealized beauty and psychological depth in his portraits. His portrait of Baldassare Castiglione, circa 1514–1515, reflects the humanist ideals of the Renaissance, portraying the Italian diplomat and author with a natural, introspective gaze that conveys intelligence and elegance. Another masterpiece, La Fornerina, circa 1518–1519, is believed to depict Raphael's muse. This portrait exemplifies his skill in rendering delicate beauty, with the subject's soft expression, luminous skin, and subtle detailing creating an intimate, almost ethereal presence. Through these works, Raphael elevated portraiture to a harmonious balance of realism and idealism, making his portraits some of the most celebrated of the Renaissance. Artists such as Titian and Albrecht Dürer mastered the ability to convey personality and power through portraiture. Titian's portrait of a man and Isabella d'Este highlight the subject's nobility through detailed clothing and rich color, reinforcing their high status. Dürer's self-portrait at 28 not only captures his appearance but also reflects his confidence and artistic vision, while his portrait of Emperor Maximilian I emphasizes authority and grandeur. Female artists also made their mark in portraiture. Sofonisba Anguissola's self-portrait at the easel is a rare example of a woman artist asserting her presence in the art world. Her portrait of the artist's sisters playing chess goes beyond mere likeness, capturing interaction and storytelling, an approach that set Renaissance portraiture apart. These works revolutionized portrait painting, moving beyond mere documentation to explore the depth of human expression, laying the foundation for portraiture in the centuries to come. Portrait sculpture in the Renaissance mirrored the advancements seen in painting, bringing a new level of realism and emotional depth to 3-dimensional works. One of the most notable examples is Donatello's Madonna and Child, circa 1440, a relief sculpture that captures a tender, intimate moment between the Virgin Mary and infant Jesus. This piece showcases Donatello's mastery of depth and expression, making the figures feel lifelike and emotionally engaging. Michelangelo, a master of Renaissance sculpture, brought an unprecedented level of realism, power, and emotion to his portrait sculptures. His works emphasized anatomical perfection and deep psychological expression. One of his most famous pieces, David, 1501–1504, is not just a biblical hero but a striking example of human strength and idealized beauty. The intense gaze and detailed facial expression convey determination and contemplation, turning it into a powerful psychological portrait. Another masterpiece, Moses, circa 1513–1515, features a deeply expressive face, capturing wisdom, tension, and divine authority. The lifelike details in the beard, muscles, and furrowed brow showcase Michelangelo's unparalleled skill in sculpting human emotion. Unlike medieval sculptures that focused on religious symbolism, Renaissance portrait sculptures emphasized the individuality and humanity of their subjects. These innovations solidified portraiture, both in painting and sculpture, as a central artistic form, one that would continue to evolve in the following centuries. Fashion played a crucial role in Renaissance portraiture, reflecting wealth, status, and social identity. Luxurious fabrics such as velvet, silk, satin, and brocade were adorned with intricate gold and silver embroidery, symbolizing power and refinement. The rich, deep hues of red, royal blue, black, and gold were not just aesthetic choices but also status symbols, as the dyeing process was expensive. Men's fashion featured doublets, fitted jackets with detachable sleeves, along with puffed trunk hose, and elaborate ruff collars, often made of lace or fine linen. Decorative hats, adorned with feathers and jewels, completed the look. Women's clothing emphasized elegance and structure, with voluminous skirts, stiff bodices, and square-cut necklines. Puffed sleeves with delicate embroidery were common, and corsets were used to create a narrow waist. Veils and gemstone-encrusted jewelry, including pearls and gold chains, added sophistication. Examples like Leonardo da Vinci's Mona Lisa or Bronzina's portrait of Eleanor of Toledo showcase the refined elegance of Renaissance fashion, where every detail was a deliberate statement of identity and prestige. Unlike painted portraits, clothing in Renaissance sculptures was depicted with naturalistic, flowing drapery. Artists like Michelangelo and Donatello mastered the art of sculpting fabric textures, movement, and volume. In works like Moses and Pietà, clothing not only served as decoration but also conveyed emotion, spirituality, and dynamism. Baroque portraiture, 1600 to 1750, was defined by dramatic lighting, deep emotion, and dynamic movement. Artists used chiaroscuro, strong contrasts of light and shadow, to create depth and psychological intensity. Diego Velázquez, a Spanish Baroque master, exemplified this in Portrait of Pope Innocent X, 1650. The striking realism of the Pope's piercing gaze and richly detailed robes makes this painting a masterpiece of psychological portraiture. Rembrandt van Rijn, a Dutch master of portraiture, created self-portrait with two circles, 1665 to 1669. This deeply introspective work highlights his aging face, wisdom, and skillful use of light to convey emotion. Peter Paul Rubens, known for his vibrant colors and expressive figures, painted Portrait of Susanna London, 1622 to 1625. Her lively pose and radiant complexion reflect Rubens' signature style, emphasizing movement and elegance. Finally, Caravaggio, famous for his raw realism, painted Young Sick Bacchus, 1593 to 1594, a self-portrait portraying illness and fragility. Unlike the idealized portraits of the Renaissance, Caravaggio's work embraced imperfection, marking a shift toward dramatic realism in portraiture. Baroque portrait sculpture introduced lifelike movement, intense expression, and intricate detail. Gian Lorenzo Bernini, the master of Baroque sculpture, captured these qualities in bust of Cardinal Scipione Borghese, 1632, creating the illusion of speech and movement. His bust of Louis XIV, 1665, showcases majestic drapery, flowing hair, and a commanding gaze, emphasizing royal power. Additionally, equestrian statue of Philip IV, 1634 to 1640, designed by Diego Velázquez and sculpted by Pietro Tacca, is a technical marvel, portraying the king in a dramatic, dynamic pose that symbolizes Baroque grandeur and dominance. During the Baroque period, 1600 to 1750, clothing in portrait paintings was luxurious, structured, and highly symbolic of wealth and power. Rich fabrics like silk, velvet, and brocade were adorned with gold embroidery and pearls. Men wore doublets, lace collars, ruffs, knee-length breeches, and ornate cloaks, while women dressed in gowns with voluminous skirts, corsets, and large lace collars. Dark, rich colors such as deep reds, blacks, golds, and blues were used to signify status and nobility. Accessories included wigs, feathered hats, pearl necklaces, and jeweled brooches. In Baroque sculpture, clothing was carved with extreme realism and movement, making fabric appear to flow naturally around the figures. Unlike paintings that relied on color and embroidery, sculptures focused on texture and depth to emphasize grandeur and energy. Bernini's works, like Ecstasy of Saint Teresa and Bust of Louis XIV, showcase his skill in carving delicate folds and curls to create a sense of floating elegance and royal authority. This contrast between paintings and sculptures highlights how Baroque artists used clothing not just as decoration, but as a tool to convey drama, status, and emotion. Modern portraiture evolved from the late 19th century, expanding beyond traditional painting and sculpture to embrace photography and film. Unlike classical portraits, modern works focus on identity, emotion, and abstraction. Artists experiment with bold colors, fragmented forms, and unconventional materials. Picasso's portrait of Dora Maar deconstructs the human face into geometric shapes, emphasizing emotion over realism. Frida Kahlo's self-portrait with cropped hair blends realism with surreal symbolism, expressing personal transformation. Warhol's Marilyn Diptych uses repetition and vibrant colors to critique celebrity culture. Sculpture followed a similar transformation. Modigliani's head of a woman simplifies human features into elongated, abstract forms, while Picasso's Chicago Picasso challenges traditional portrait norms. Jeff Koons' Balloon Dog distorts classical sculpture into a playful, commercialized object. Photography became a defining medium. Dorothea Lange's Migrant Mother captures raw human struggle during the Great Depression. Afghan Girl by Steve McCurry is a vivid portrait that tells a powerful story through color and expression. Cindy Sherman transforms herself into different personas, questioning identity and reality. Film portraits also redefine storytelling. Heath Ledger's Joker portrays madness through facial expressions and chaotic energy. Amelie creates a dreamlike portrait using rich color palettes, while Taxi Driver's Travis Bickle is a psychological study of isolation and decay. Modern portraiture goes beyond simple representation, it explores identity, emotion, and culture. Unlike traditional portraits, modern approaches embrace abstraction, photography, and film to expand artistic expression. In this era, clothing is no longer a fixed indicator of social status but a reflection of personality, identity, and individual choice. From minimalist and casual styles to bold and conceptual outfits, fashion in modern portraits carries symbolic meaning, expressing emotions, experiences, or even social statements. With advancing technology, AI, digital art, and interactive media continue to reshape portraiture, pushing the boundaries of creativity. Ultimately, modern portraits do not just capture faces, they reflect deep human experiences and the evolving nature of art and identity in today's world.